ma-record natin para sa mga hindi naka-attend at mga late dumating. Okay, so again, so our topic for this afternoon is all about the basic of programming. Hopefully, madali na lang sa atin to since we have an experience about it already, even if it is not a Java programming, but still that is a programming, so that is a good start for you. Okay, so our objective for this afternoon, so at the end of the session, you as a student should be able to compare types of programming languages, describe the programming cycle, construct algorithms, pseudocodes, and flowcharts, and the last one is differentiate procedural programming from object-oriented programming. Okay? So, let me add first yung may gustong pumasok. Okay, that's it. Okay, so the topic for this afternoon, types of programming languages, the programming cycle, we also have the algorithm, then we have the pseudocode, and then we have the flowchart. And then after that, programming methodologies. Okay, so let's start with the types of programming languages, but then let me start with this question. What is a computer program? Okay, in your own idea, what is a computer program? In your own word. One, a volunteer from a class, kindly raise your hand if you want to volunteer. Anyone? In your own idea. There's no such thing as wrong here. This is just a sharing of idea actually. So you didn't have to worry about if it is wrong or
Ako,
not.
ma'am, ako.
Who is that?
Ako, ma'am, si Medalya, ma'am.
Okay. So again, let me remind you, if you want to talk, say your name first para at least ma-identify. Okay? Thank you for that, Medalya. Yes?
Sugod na, pwede na magasugod, ma'am.
Yes.
Computer programming is a process of designing and building an executable computer program to accomplish a specific computing resulting or to perform a specific task.
Okay, thank you for that, Medalya. Okay, the keywords there is designing and building a specific program to to execute a specific task. Tama? Okay, so thank you for that. Okay, another idea. Okay, we have Ayop.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Ayop. Yes?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Nathaniel Ayop, ma'am. Kun, ma'am.
Yes,
Computer
Nathaniel
program, ma'am.
Ayop.
What's ma'am, murag detailed plan, good, ma'am, or procedure for solving a problem sa computer, ma'am. Murag ginakuan siya, ma'am. Alimbawa, murag maghatag og task ang kuan ang user, tapos i-input niya, tapos kung execute niya, murag computer na ang mag-solve gud na, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Thank you for that. So, a well-planned, kumbaga. Thank you for that, Ayop. A well-planned solution to a problem. Okay, thank you for that, Nathaniel. Any other idea pa?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, sino po yun?
Si Rivero po.
Okay, Rivero.
Like ano, ma'am? Like, dira ka magbuhat o gano'n, ma'am? Like, mga computer works di mo, ma'am?
Okay. Okay, so gagawa ka, according to Aldwin Rivero, a computer program is where you will make a computer works. Thank you for that, Rivero. How about the others? I think nag-raise ng hand kanina si Dulam. Mr. Dulam?
Ma'am, nagahatag og instruction sa computer, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for that. Nagahatag og instruction sa computer. So, katulad din ng sinabi kanina ni ano, 'di ba? It will execute a specific instruction. Thank you for that, Arvin. Okay, so this time again, when we talked about computer program, okay, tama yung sinabi nyo kanina. So, we will just summarize that one. When we say computer program, it is a what we call that. It is also called a program, computer program or a program itself lang. It is a sequence of statements. Sabi nga kanina, instruction, di ba? It is a sequence of statements intended to accomplish a certain task. Meaning, may problem na binigay and then from that problem, isosolve natin siya. So, we are aiming to accomplish a certain task, okay, from a given problem. So, again, it is a set of instruction for computer to follow. Okay, so tama yung kanina sinabi nyo, all of those idea is correct. So, some examples are a computer program that compute to a general average of a student and the program that converts Celsius to Fahrenheit or vice versa. Di ba pag nagka-compute tayo ng general average, meron tayong procedure or set of instruction para ma-compute siya. Like for example, for us to get the average of 3 subjects or 4 subjects, una, kukunin natin yung value ng bawat isa. Okay, so like for example, we have 4 subjects. So for halimbawa, math, science, English, ano pa ba, araling panlipunan. So unang gagawin natin, we will get the value of that 4 subject. Then after that, getting the value of the 4 subject or grade natin sa 4 na subject na yon, we should know the formula. Kumbaga, operation to be used, diba? So, paano yun siya kukunin? So, we will add the value of the 4 or we will add the grade of the 4 subjects, then divide it into total number of subject, which is 4. Diba? And after that, of course, we will display the result of that specific formula. Okay, so magkakaroon ka na ng average from that. So, in having an output, we follow a set of instruction or procedure. So, ganun din yung kay computer program. Para magkaroon ng task or para magkaroon ng output or display na ibibigay si computer, we have to give a computer program or we have to have a computer program for it to works. Or else, walang silbi yung ating computer. It could be a display lang din na wala siyang task. Okay? So, para lang siyang, para lang siyang hinulma lang natin siya as computer and for display purposes lang siya. Okay? So, lahat ng mga programs na meron tayo, like for example, the MS Teams we have right now, the Facebook we have right now, that is a computer program. Always remember that one. Without the computer program, we don't have this MS Teams, we don't have the Facebook, we don't have that Dota, the Call of Duty, and everything. Okay? So, yun po yun. Now, how to have a computer program? Okay? So, we have this. What is a programming? Any idea? This is in connection to my question kanina, how to have this computer program. But I want you to answer, what is programming? Anyone? From my class? We have Janriel. Yes, Janriel.
Gakuan ma'am siya ang ga-create.
Okay, thank you for that, Janriel. according to John Reel, siya ang nag-create. Okay, thank you for that. How about the others? Any other? At least 3 students, diba? So we have John Reel na. So another 2. Okay, we have Arvin.
Ma'am, maghimog instruction para
Okay,
sa computer, ma'am.
according to Arvin, it is the time that you are doing, 'di ba, maghimo daw og program. Okay, thank you for that, Arvin. Sino pa? Isa pa, last.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
We have Killord.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, Killord.
Nag-process siya mga activities o karing nag-writing siya sa mga computer program.
Okay, nag-process siya ng activities at nag-write ng, tama ba yung pandinig ko? Nag-write ng
Yes, ma'am.
computer
Computer
program.
programs.
Okay, thank you for that. So, now, what is programming? Tama yun, a combination of everything. When we say programming, it is a process of planning and creating a program. Tama yun, writing of a program. Please mute your audio muna if you again kindly mute. Mag-intermission siguro pa. Mag-intermission muna tayo. May kumakanta eh. Hindi pa talaga siya
Killord.
tapos
Ma'am.
eh.
Daw nag-open mic.
Ilod sa bilid.
Kindly mute your audio. Sige, mute all ko na lang.
Di po.
Okay, so that's it. Sige, isa-isahin ko talaga. Sige. Kindly mute your muna please, microphone, para hindi natin marinig yung background nyo. Thank you. Thank you. So again, when we see programming, it is a process of planning and creating a program. This is where you create a computer program. So proseso siya. Okay? Sabi nga, another way of creating, planning, designing, and writing a program. Okay, clear tayo ha? When we say a computer program, it is a sequence of statements intended to accomplish a certain task. And then it is a set of instruction for computer to follow. And then while a programming is a process of planning and creating a program. Now, we have different types of programming. The first one is the low-level language. Okay? Okay, the low-level languages are languages actually that what we call that deal with the computer's hardware components. So there we have two common low-level language, and that is the machine language and the assembly language. Again, when you say low-level language, these are languages na nagdi-deal directly with the computer's hardware components. So, ang low-level language na meron tayo is the machine language and the assembly language. Then, what is a machine language? When we say machine language, it is a language that the computer directly understands. Okay? Again, it is a language that the computer can directly understand. Why? Any idea? In your own idea, why is it the computer can directly understand this language? In what sense? Hi. Again, let me repeat the question. Why is it this machine language I mean, why is it the computer can directly understand this machine language? In what sense? Yes, Arvin?
Gina-translate sa computer, ma'am. Ginahimog
Gina,
binary code.
gina-translate sa computer, ginagawang binary code. Okay, thank you for that. Arvin? How about the others? I need two pa. In your own idea, according to Arvin, this machine language translate, yeah, it will translate the language into a binary one. How about the others? Any idea? Wala na? Okay, sige. Ano natin. Why is it the computer can directly understand the machine language? Because this machine language or language is already a binary language. Naka-zero and ones na siya. So you didn't have to translate it into a binary language since you write it according to a binary code na. So gagawa ka ng program na ang nilalagay mo lang or nakikita mo lang is only zeros and ones. So ganun siya. And come to think of that, how, di ba, how patient the programmers in the history time. Di ba? 10011 yung nakakalula nga yung ano, 'di ba? Nahihirapan nga tayong mag-program using the current languages we have right now. Ano pa kaya kung ang gagamitin natin is the machine language? 'Di ba? So, yun. Okay, so again, why the computer can directly understand the machine language? Because machine language is written by like zeros and ones na. Okay, a binary code. Okay, so when we say machine language, it is the most basic set of instruction that a computer can execute. Remember, computer is a machine, diba? So, sabi nga natin, ang naiintindihan lang ni computer is only zeros and ones. Since machine language is already zeros and ones, so madali na lang sa kanya i-execute yung mga instruction na binibigay ni programmer. Okay? So, machine language program are written in binary codes, zeros and ones. Then, after the machine language, we also have what we call assembly language. So this assembly language actually is a symbolic form of machine language that is easier to people to read, unlike machine language. Okay, so ngayon, ang nangyari, baliktad na. Okay, since nahihirapan si tao or si programmer na mag-program, since zeros and ones lang ang nakakaharap niya, meron na tayo ngayong assembly language para at least mas maintindihan or mas madali kay programmer na gumawa ng program at magbigay ng instruction sa computer. Okay? So, though meron pa rin siyang machine language, but then more on more on human language na siya. Okay? So, unlike machine language, we only have zeros and ones. In assembly language, there is a little human language, like, for example, instruct ka na you will add, ito, as an example, add, this is an example of instruction gamit ang ating assembly language, AX, DX. Ganyan. That is an example of instruction. So add AX, DX. So alam mo na nag-a-add ka, it could be a value, 'di ba? Okay, meaning it could be you are storing a data. It could be from here to here or to here down here. Ganyan siya. Okay? So, ganun yung tinatawag natin na assembly language. Unlike with the machine language na puro 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, so on, so forth. Okay, ganun yung kaibahan nila. Okay? So, when we say assembly language, this language makes use of instructions and mnemonic form. Okay, mnemonic. So, in assembly language, we have what we call assembler. Okay, so assembler, by the way, do you have any idea about what is assembler is? Anyone? Yes, John Real? What is assembler?
Karang sa assembly, ma'am.
Yes, opo.
Kuan, ma'am, marang direct na siya makipag-communicate sa kuan, ma'am, computer hardware o direct lang siya mabasa sa tao.
Wait. Let me repeat the question now. What is assembler?
Assembler, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, opo.
Gabuo, ma'am. Siya magbuo.
Siya ang nagabuo. Okay, thank you for that. Meaning, kaya nga from di ba? From the word assembler, nag-a-assemble. Okay, thank you for that. Janriel, how about the others? Any idea what is assembler? Yes, Arvin?
Gina-arrange ang kuan, ma'am. Binary code. Tapos ginahimog assembly language.
Gina-arrange ang binary code para maging assembly language. Thank you for that, Arvin. How about the another one?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Rivero.
Ano, ma'am? Automatically convert instruction, ma'am.
Automatically convert instruction from
Assembler, ma'am.
okay, so assembler will automatically convert the instructions from what kind of instruction? Kasi di ba
Like
convert
written,
meaning
written symbolic, ma'am.
written symbolic to a binary, ganon.
Opo, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so again, when we say assembler, it is a program. Yeah, it is a program that translates assembly language instruction into a machine language instruction. Okay, tama yung sinabi ninyo. Okay, so yun. We have assembly language and then we, under assembly language, we have what we call the assembler. Okay, that will translate assembly language instruction into a machine language. Kasi paulit-ulit nating isipin na ang machine language or the computer will only understand machine language. And that machine language is yung binary code natin. Okay, the 0 and the 1. So always, pag meron kang code na hindi machine language, para mabasa siya at ma-interpret siya ni computer, kailangan natin siyang i-translate into a machine language. So sa side ni assembly language, gumamit siya ng assembler. Okay, para ma-translate niya yung kanyang instruction to a machine language. Okay, so any question so far? May tanong ba so far sa napag-usapan natin?
Wala na po, ma'am.
Okay. Nakakapag-thumbs up ba kayo? May ba?
Unsa,
May
ma'am?
nakita kayong reaction na thumbs up, heart, clap, ganyan?
Wala man, ma'am.
Parang wala.
Wala. Okay.
Opo.
Limited talaga yung ninyo, no? Sige. Anyway, so yung ano talaga natin, one way to ano, yung communication is audio talaga and the raise hand lang, no? So anyway, so okay lang. Okay? So yun. So next, ano natin? So again both machine language and assembly language are considered low-level language. So when we say low-level language, it interacts directly with computer processor. So this requires the usage of memory address for the specific machine when creating commands. Okay, so we have what we call also languages that is modern. So most modern programming languages are designed to be relatively easy. Okay? So sabi nga natin kanina, we have a low-level language, then we have the machine language, then later on, gumawa pa tayo ng isa pang language or nagkaroon tayo ng isa pang language para at least mapadali or to make it easier to make a program. Okay, and that is the assembly language. And then later on, meron pa tayong mga modern programming languages na mas madaling gawin or gamitin. Okay, so these are known as high-level language. Okay, so when we say high-level language or each high-level language has its own syntax or rules of the language. For example, the verb print or write is used to produce an output. Okay? So, ganun. Sabi nga natin, ang high-level, ano natin ngayon, high-level programming language is a human-like language na. Kumbaga, even if you are not a programmer, you will understand. Pag nakita mo yung instruction na yun, you will understand para saan yun or ano yung purpose ng instruction na yun. Kasi human-like na siya or human language na ang ginamit. Kagaya ng sinabi natin kanina, which is print and the write. Okay, print na keyword at saka write keyword. Okay, so in programming, programmers write a series of program statements. Okay, and that program statements will carry out tasks that the program has to perform. Okay, so program statements are also known as commands. These commands are orders to the computer, such as print this word or this two or add these two numbers. Yun yung mga pwede nating i-command sa ating sa ating computer. So pwede kang mag-print, pwede kang mag-add, pwede kang mag-multiply, any actually. As you have observed naman, halos lahat ng mga pwedeng gawin ng isang computer is andito na ngayon sa ating laptops or computer. So pwede na mag-display, pwede na mag-add ng friends sa Facebook natin and any other activities na pwedeng gawin sa isang computer. Okay? So those instruction, those commands na meron tayo is human-like language na siya. Okay? So again, mas pinadali siya. Okay, so after writing a program statements, a compiler or interpreter is used. Okay, so again, sabi nga natin, kahit anong programming language yan, babalik at babalik tayo ngayon sa machine language. Okay, a compiler now, okay, when we say compiler, kanina di ba si assembler ang kay assembly. This time we have a compiler. So it is a program that translates a program written in a high-level language into a low-level language, such as machine language, before executing the statement. Okay, ulit tayo. Ano nga yung taga-translate sa ating assembly language? Wait lang ha. Give me a 5 minutes muna. I know. Just 1 minute. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry ha, nandyan kasi ang ano namin, ang ano yan, taga-collect ng basura. So, kailangan nating magbigay para kunin nila yung basura natin. Okay, anyway, so yun. Saan na ba tayo? Ano yung tanong ko kanina? Ano yung taga-translate sa assembly language? Kindly raise your hand. Anong tawag natin sa taga-translate ng assembly language into a machine language? Yes, Janreal?
Interpreter, ma'am.
Sa assembly language? Anong tawag natin nun?
Dahil ma'am,
Sige.
assembler ma'am.
Sino to? Si Ayop ba?
Yes ma'am, ayop.
Okay. Okay, ang tawag natin, thank you for that, Ayop. Ang tawag natin sa taga-translate ng ating assembly language into a machine language is assembler. While sa ating high-level programming language, okay, again, while sa ating high-level programming language or high-level language, ang tawag natin sa translator niya is compiler.
Interpret.
Okay, so, compiler. Again, a compiler is a program that translates a program written in a high-level language into a low-level language, such as machine language, before executing the statements. While when we talked about interpreter, this will act as a compiler, but again it will act as a compiler, but it translates one program statement at a time. Okay, translator pa rin siya. Pero unlike with the compiler, pwede niyang i-translate yung instruction in a batch. While in an interpreter, one program statement at a time, yung kanyang translation. So this executes the statement as soon as it is translated. So, paisa-isa yung kanyang execution since paisa-isa din yung kanyang interpretation or translation. Okay? So, nakuha yung difference ng compiler at saka interpreter?
Yes ma'am.
Okay, since nakuha siya, anyone from a class differentiate the two? The compiler and the interpreter? Pwede yung iba naman. I want to hear from sino ba? I want to hear from Panya. Hello, Panya. Again, the question is, differentiate the compiler and interpreter. Or what is the difference between the two? They are both translator, diba? Translator of a high-level programming language. But what is the difference between the two? Panya, are you still there?
Ma'am.
Yes, Panya. Kindly differentiate compiler and interpreter in your own word. Di ba sabi natin, they are a translator from a high-level programming language to a machine language. They are both a translator of a high-level programming language to a machine language. But what is the difference between the two? Kasi kung pareho lang naman sila, meaning bakit pa nagkaroon ng interpreter kung may compiler naman pala? Ano yung kaibahan nila? Nabanggit ko na kanina, diba? Pass muna, Panya. Sige, we will give the floor to Sino ba yun? We will give the floor to Castillo. Castillo, John
Opo,
Michael.
ma'am. Opo, ma'am. Good afternoon po, ma'am. Ano, ma'am? Ang
Good
answer po, ma'am, ay
afternoon.
ang interpreter, ma'am, translate just one statement of the program at the time into machine code, while the compiler po is scans the entire program and translate the whole into machine code at once.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, thank you for that, Michael. Okay, so yun yun. Okay,
Thank you po, ma'am.
the interpreter will translate the high-level programming language one at a time. One program statement at a time. While, when we talked about compiler, yung whole program mo mismo, ita-translate niya. Hindi siya one program statement lang. Remember, your computer program will possibly compose a lot of lines, a lot of program statement. Okay? So, ang kaibahan nila kay compiler, buong program pwede niyang i-translate diretso, in parang simultaneously. Okay? While si interpreter, one program statement lang at a time, yung kanyang translation and execution. Okay, so that's it. So now let's proceed with the high-level programming language. So in the process of translation, an invalid program statement might be encountered, and that is known as syntax error. Okay? Again, when we say syntax error, invalid program statement. Yun yung syntax error na tinatawag natin. Like for example, halimbawa, paano ba pag nagdi-divide ka? Halimbawa, 3 divided by 3. Is this one correct?
Po, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Tama ba yan?
Yes, ma'am.
Opo, ma'am.
Ganyan ba siya or ganyan siya? Chinek agad yung mga yung mga calculator natin dyan, kindly check. Saan ba yung tama? The first one or the second one?
Yung una,
The first one po.
siguro yung una.
Ganyan?
Opo, ma'am.
Yan yung, and then this one,
Yes,
ganyan. So, sino nagsabi? Sige, tingnan natin. Tawagin natin, kindly raise your hand, please. Para makita natin sino yung Hello?
Yes po, ma'am.
Sino yung sumagot? Kindly raise your hand, please. Click the raise hand.
Medalya. Medalya, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Medalya. Ano ang tama dito? First or second?
The first, ma'am.
First. Okay, according to Medalya, ito daw ang tama. How about the others? How about the others? Ayaw mo nang sumagot. I-sure pa yan muna ng iba Ito daw, according to Kirby, ang tama, yung first one. This is a
Excuse me,
division,
ma'am.
ha? Yes, sino yon? Si Rivero?
Opo, yung number 2 po, ma'am.
Okay, according to Aldwin, number 2 daw ang tama. How about the others?
2, ma'am, 2. 2 po,
Check
ma'am.
na ba? O, 2 daw yung iba. Pero parang sunod-sunod na Okay. 'Di ba nakakalula? Akala nyo eto na yon, pero when you check talaga, it should be this one. Ito yung tama for division. Okay? So in that case, ang tawag natin yan, pag ito ang ginamit natin, is that is an example of what we call syntax errors. And that syntax errors will be or can be detected ng ating compiler. Okay? So again, syntax error are the errors that parang invalid program statement, meaning you are not following the rule of, or you are not using a keyword or a right keyword itself. Okay? So yun, or right ano tawag nito? Operations. So that can be considered as syntax error. Okay? So the process or act of locating and repairing the errors or or program is called debugging. So ang tawag natin pag once nilolocate na natin at saka pinifix na natin yung error ng ating program, ang tawag natin doon is debugging. 'Di ba bug is a problem? So para ma-solve natin siya, magkakaroon tayo ng proseso na tinatawag na debugging para ma-solve natin yung problem ng computer program natin. Again ha, debugging. D-E-B-U-G-G-I-N-G, debugging. Okay? So that is locating and repairing the errors of a program. Okay? So apart from the syntax errors na meron tayo, we have what we called also logical errors. Okay? Yung logical error natin might be encountered as well. And then logical errors, or what they call semantic errors, occur when the syntax of the program is correct, but the expected output is not. Okay, dito nga sinasabi natin papasok yung logical thinking natin on how are we going to solve a specific problem. Okay? So like for example, ang ine-expect natin ni output is X, pero ang lumabas is Y. That is what we call logical error. Or same with kung like yung ginawa natin kahapon. If you still remember yung ginawa natin kahapon, I want you to display the total value nung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is 15, tama? Kung ang lumabas doon is 20 or lower than that, meaning meron tayong logical errors. Yung solution natin mismo is mali. Yung program statement natin mismo is mali. Syntax free, but it doesn't give us the correct output. That is logical error. Okay ba yan? Yung syntax error natin, it could be mali yung keywords na ginamit natin, mali yung operation na ginamit natin, mali yung way kung paano. Di ba pag when we say syntax, pwede nating i-relate siya sa subject-verb agreement. Di ba? Or pwede nating i-ano siya as grammar. Di ba? Halimbawa, plural in singular. Pag sinabi kong ano tawag nito? One sentence, halimbawa, paano ba? Bigyan niyo ako ng one sentence na mali ang construction. Can someone give me a one sentence na mali ang construction sa subject-verb agreement natin? Paano ba? Anyone? A simple sentence na mali ang construction ng subject-verb agreement natin. Or it could be yung sa kahit yung sa plural lang at saka singular natin.
Pwede pakiulit sa question, ma'am.
Give me a sentence na mali yung construction. Wala?
Kasi ma'am,
Yes,
like ano ma'am?
Ayo.
Ma'am?
Yes, Nathaniel? Si Nathaniel ba yun or si Rivero?
Ako ba?
Okay, Aldwin. Yes, Aldwin.
Like ano ma'am? Like, I ate na ate po. I ate junk food today.
I ate
Junk foods today.
junk foods today. Then what is the problem with that statement?
Ate na ate po.
Ha?
Ate po na ate.
Bakit siya problem? Bakit siya mali?
Yung ano po, yung like spelling niya po na ate po.
But then that is a past tense, tama?
Ay, okay po.
So pwede pa din siya. Tama ba? I ate an apple.
No.
Pwede siya na kumain ka kahapon ng apple. Pwedeng gano'n.
Okay.
Tama. Past tense yun.
Okay po.
Okay. So still,
Sorry po.
that is still, in that way, that is a syntax free pa rin. Diba? Okay.
Aba.
Okay, thank you for that, Aldwin. How about Castillo? Yes, Castillo.
Ma'am, ako ma'am, try lang ako ma'am.
Sino yan si Medalya? Medalya? Kirby, ka ba yun?
Ano ma'am, example po sa ano ma'am, hello everything.
Hello everything. Anong problema no ng hello everything natin?
Ano ma'am, yung words po na everything ma'am.
Na word na everything. Bakit? Ano dapat?
Kasi ma'am, hello everyone, pwede po, hello po sa ano ma'am.
Hello everyone. Okay, yung correct statement kumbaga. But then, the
Yes po,
usual
opo.
din, di ba? Ano siya naging, parang anong tawag natin yan? Parang, wala lang, informal greetings yan, di ba? Kaya,
Opo.
pwedeng ganon. So, may ano siya, mali. Alam natin na mali siya, 'di ba? Pero yung ginamit natin. Okay? So, para lang din yan sabi nga natin, kumbaga, bakit ang hirap Ana cooks Ana cook a spaghetti. Anong problema doon?
Yung,
Cooks po.
Yung ano ma'am,
Oaks po, Oaks.
Ay,
Okay, it should be
Yung
yung
cooks.
Oaks mo.
Kasi may S po.
okay. Okay, so since Ana is a singular one, dapat merong S, 'di ba? Ana cooks spaghetti, tama 'di ba? Pero kung isunulat mo Ana cook spaghetti, mali 'yon. Tama ba? Pareho tayo ng subject verb agreement. Okay, 'di ba? Pag singular dapat lagyan natin yung S ng verb niya. Okay? So ganun din yung syntax errors na sinasabi natin. Okay? So, it could be na meron tayong program statement, pero mali yung pagkalagay natin or pagkagamit natin. So, that is a syntax error. While, ang logical naman, as in syntax free siya, as if wala siyang error, but then the output it gives is incorrect. Para lang yan siyang 3 plus 3, supposedly 3 plus 3 equals to 6, ang naging result niya is 3 plus 3 equals to 5. So that is a logical error in a way. Maybe hindi addition ang ginamit mo, may iba kang way or may iba kang formula in adding. Diba? So that is what we call logical error. Okay? So before tayo sa next slide, unahin natin ang machine language. Ano nga yung machine language? Okay, this are machine language, or these are language that the computer can directly understand, since this one composed of zeros and ones. Assembly language naman, we have what we call assembler that will translate the assembly language into a machine language. Since assembly language is using a symbolic form of machine language that is parang yung kumbaga mnemonic na mga form or instruction. So kaya kailangan niya ng assembler. While the high-level language naman, this is the easier programming language because it is a human-like language na. Okay? And of course, sabi nga natin, since machine language ang naiintindihan ni computer, so kailangan natin ng compiler or interpreter. So, compiler and interpreter, the same task, but then yung bunch of interpretation, like sa interpreter is only one program statement at a time. Yung kay compiler naman is pwede siyang by batch or buong computer program mo. Okay? So, ano pa ba we have here? So we have syntax errors. These are errors na mali yung paggagamit or it could be kumbaga typographical error, pwedeng ganon. And then logical errors is the way or the behavior of solving a problem mismo. It could be a syntax free but then logical error siya or may logical problem siya. Okay? So, yun. Next tayo. Again, we have what we called also debugging. So, a process of locating and repairing a program errors. Okay? Next is we have the difference between the low-level and the high-level language. Okay? So, in terms of the performance, of course, low-level language is faster. Okay? Bakit nga siya faster? Bakit mas mabilis ang low-level language compared to high-level language? In terms of execution of program.
Siguro ma'am kay ang low level language ma'am gamay lang ang iyang gamay lang na items ang iyang gina-process ma'am ba dili para sa high level na daghan siya gina-process.
Okay, thank you for that. Kumbaga konti lang yung instruction, tama ba yun pagkaintindi ko, Kirby? Kirby, tama ba yung pagkaintindi ko na konti lang yung instruction na binibigay niya kaya mas mabilis siya?
Opo, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for that, Kirby. Okay, sino pa may idea? I need 2 pa. So according to Kirby, it is faster due to small or a little instruction na ini-instruct niya sa computer. How about the others? Bakit mas mabilis? Si machine language or si low-level language kay high-level language? Yes, Castillo.
Easier to understand. Dali na siya kaning sabtan ma'am.
Okay, kasi mas madali lang siyang ma-understand. Thank you for that, John Michael. We will summarize it later. Kasi yung dalawang sagot is lahat may point, diba? We will combine that one later. Ano pa yon? Isa pa? According kay Kirby, kasi maliit lang yung instruction na meron si low-level language compared kay high-level language. And then according kay John Michael is, ano yun Michael? Parang madali lang siyang understand. Okay? Easy to understand. Okay. Thank you for that, John Michael. Meron pa ba? Sige, proceed tayo. Okay, so mas madali siya or it is faster compared to low-level language. I mean, low-level language is faster compared to high-level language because of, yes, first reason, tama naman na maliit lang talaga na instruction ang pinaprocess o binibigay talaga if we are talking about low-level language. Remember, remember nakita nyo yung yung dati na picture, yung napakalaking machine, but then ilang bits lang or ilang byte lang ang kaya niyang i-handle. Okay, ganun yung the usual na ginagawa if we talked about low-level language. Konti lang yung instruction niya, kaya mas mabilis siyang i-process. And clear to understand because we are talking about machine language. Okay? Since we are talking about, we are talking about computer, it only understand machine language. And low-level language is directly communicating to the hardware, to a machine language. Kaya, ang translation niya is hindi ganon ka-complicated compared kay high-level language. Remember, low-level language, we have two different kinds of types of low-level language. The machine language, which is directly 0 and 1, so you don't have to translate it anymore. Well, si assembly language naman, it is a combination kasi of a machine language and other mnemonics. So meron pa rin siyang machine language talaga. So hindi ganun ka-complicated yung the way of translation niya compared kay high-level language. Kaya mas mabilis siya or mas faster siya in terms of performance. Okay? So now, meron bang clarification so far? You may raise your hand if you have a question.
Wala na po, ma'am.
Okay, since wala, okay, proceed tayo. Okay, so again, actually, programming is a process of problem solving. Sabi ko nga sa inyo kahapon o ng isang you will encounter a lot of problem and you will solve or you will give your solution to that problem. Okay, and a good programmer has a good problem solving techniques. That is a must. Okay, dapat lang. Okay, kasi how are you going to solve a specific or how you will come up with a correct solution if you are not a good or a problem solver. Okay, so some techniques are clearly outlined and easy to follow. So they solve the problem and give insight into how the solution was reached. And that is a good programmer. Okay, one common problem solving technique is what we call algorithm. Okay, so we have what we call algorithm na tinatawag. Okay, when we say algorithm, it is a step-by-step problem solving process in which solution is arrived at in a finite amount of time. Okay, a step-by-step problem solving process. Okay, so in solving or problem solving process and programming, we have the it involves the following steps. First one is problem analysis. When we say problem analysis, it analyzes the problem and outline the problem or outline a problem in its solution requirements. Okay? Nandun, nag-a-analyze ka na. Ano ba yung problema na sinasabi ng client natin? Okay? Kumbaga, you will dig deeper. Why is it? Or what is the problem of the client? Why? Bakit siya nagpapagawa ng program? Okay? And then you will outline the solution for that. Okay? You will outline the solution requirements. So ngayon, since may problema, ano ba yung gusto mangyari ng client? Okay? Ano ba yung dapat mangyari? Ano ba yung dapat na output? Bakit na problema si client? Ano yung naging anomaly? Diba? So yun. Then second nun is algorithm design. So in this algorithm design, it designed an algorithm to solve the problem. So sabi nga natin, a step-by-step problem solving process. Diba? So ano yung mga pwedeng gawin natin? Ano yung susundin natin? May guidelines ba tayo na pwedeng sundin or na pwedeng gawin para ma-solve yung problem na yan? Okay? Then after that, since meron na tayong step by step na possible solution sa problema, magkakaroon na tayo ng coding. We will do the coding. Okay. Actually, again, this is a programming cycle na pinag-uusapan natin. You should know the problem first, and then after knowing the problem, you will have an algorithm kung paano siya isolve yung problema na yon. And then since alam mo na kung paano siya isolve, then you will implement. You will code. Okay? So based sa specification mo, based sa algorithm mo, you will do the coding na. You will implement kung anong meron doon sa algorithm mo. And then after coding, okay, after coding, you will execute. The execution will happen. Okay, so it verify if the algorithm works accordingly, or what we call correct output, diba? So nandun na yung execution. So problem analysis muna, algorithm design after, then we will do the coding, and after the coding, we will do the execution. Okay, ano bang gagawin sa codes, diba? Of course, ipapatakbo mo siya, ipaparun mo siya. And that way, you will know if mayroong mali pa or wala na. Okay? So, after the execution, doon papasok yung implementation of your program na kung wala ng error. Kumbaga, deployment na. Okay? So, we have in here the, the flow of a programming cycle. So, start with this one, the problem. Okay? So, this picture, actually, okay? So, this picture summarizes the programming process. Okay? So, to develop a program, to develop a program that solves a problem, start first by analyzing the problem. And then after, tama ba yun? First, analyzing the problem, then outlining the problem and the options for a solution. Then design an algorithm, write program instructions, okay, and enter the program into a computer system. Okay, so the problem analysis step requires first, thoroughly understand the problem. Second, understanding the problem requirements. Yun, sa analyzation natin. Third is, if the program produce output, know how the result should be. Okay? Okay? Dapat alam natin kung ano yung i-generate niya. Okay? And then formatted. Then last, if the problem is complex, divide the problem into sub-problems. Repeat steps 1 and 2 by analyzing and understanding each sub-problem. After analyzing the problem, the next step is to design, okay, an algorithm to solve it. So dito pabalik-balik, dito matatagalan actually na part. Dapat maingat ka. You really have to understand what is the problem and you have to analyze what is the problem. Okay? So para after that, you can have or you can design now the algorithm. Kung ano yung magiging solution mo from the problem. Okay? So,
Excuse me po, ma'am.
Yes po.
Ay, ma'am, kanang namaliog sa ko si General Bibat po, ma'am ba? Mag-out sa daw siya, ma'am, kay hatod na yung ate. Importante daw po kayo.
Sige. Noted. Si Bibat, no? John Real?
Po, thank you po.
Okay. Thank you for that. So, again, after mo na-analyze yung problem, after mo nakilala yung problem, and analyze siya, then we will have your algorithm design. So if the problem is broken down into sub-problems, there should be an algorithm for each sub-problem. So since nagkaroon ka na ng kumbaga may general problem ka tapos nag-specific problem ka, so dapat meron ka ding algorithm for each sub-problem. Okay? You should check the algorithm for the correctness and integrate the solutions for the sub-problem. So after mo yun, nagawa ng algorithm yung bawat problem na yun, you should know how to integrate that one. And of course, base ka doon sa general problem. Natuhog ba natin yung ang goal natin na i-solve yung general problem natin. Okay? So the next step is from algorithm design. Okay, so dito na tayo sa coding. This is to convert the algorithm into a programming language. Okay, remember, nasa programming tayo. So kung ano man yung output or result natin sa algorithm design, we will put that one or implement that one through coding. Okay, so usually, as of this moment, in our modern days today, we are doing a coding using a high-level programming language. So we have a lot of that. We have different kinds of high-level programming language. Okay, so of course, ano yung gagamitin natin? It could be a text editor. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, you can use a notepad or any other text editor. Sublime Text will work also. Okay, IDE, it could be yung NetBeans natin, JCreator, or yung mga tawag natin, mga mobile application natin like yung NIDE at saka GVDroid natin. Okay, so to ensure, after that, to ensure that our coding is correct, may ano ba? Okay, is correct. So, pupunta na siya ngayon kay compiler. Okay, so si compiler, titingnan niya kung pwede na ba siyang i-translate or not. But then, if meron pa siyang error, pwedeng babalik pa tayo kay coding ulit. If i-fix natin siya. Okay? Pag wala ng error, then meaning na-translate na siya into a machine code. So, yun na. And then, so on, magkakaroon na tayo ng si machine code, kukuha ng library, ng mga specific library na meron yung programming language natin kung may kailangan. And then, ilo-load na yun. And then, after that, magkakaroon ng interpretation. Okay, may may compiler na mag-i-interpret pa. Okay, and then, teka lang ha. Okay. And then, after yan, so paisa-isahin pa natin yon, i-translate, and then after that, since no error na, magkakaroon na tayo ng result or output. So, ganun yung programming cycle na meron tayo. Okay, so that's it. Again, an algorithm must be expressed completely in a natural language that anyone can follow. For example, directions can be written in English language. Diba? What is advantage with the high-level language we have is natural language na talaga yung ginamit niya. The only disadvantage is that if we will compare it into a low-level language is faster compared to high-level language talaga. Okay? Ano pa ba? That's it. Ito na. Ito yung yung programming cycle na always nating tandaan. And para at least as a programmer in the future, alam natin kung ano yung nangyayari while nagpo-program tayo at nagkaroon tayo ng output. Okay? So we have this one. Next. Yan. This is an example of algorithm na na solution. Okay, so example, find and display the volume rectangle, get the length, the width, the height. Use the formula, volume equals the length times width times the height. So everything is given already. So to solve this problem, we will have this one. So this is a step-by-step solving problem process. So first we will get the length value, then get the width value, get the height, and then find the volume using the formula, which is already given naman. Then after na compute na natin siya, we will display the value of your volume. So this is an example of our algorithm to solve the given problem. Nakuha ba ito? Naintindihan ito na ano?
Aba,
Na solution? Okay. So another problem is we have this one. Yan. Determine whether a student fails or passes by computing the average of his grades in 3 subjects, math, science, and English. If the average is greater than or equal to 75, the student pass. Otherwise, the student fail. So, paano natin to gawin? So, ano yung magiging solution natin or ano yung algorithm natin for it? Kanina, balikan natin yung example. So, una, kinuha niya yung length. Pangalawa, meron tayong kinuha niya din yung value ni width at saka ni height. And then, in-apply natin yung formula na given and then din-display natin yung kung ano yung naging result from 4. So, in this part naman, sa second problem natin, ano yung first step natin? Anyone from my class? First step?
Paon sa niya,
Kagayan. Yes? Una?
paon sa niya tanan grade sa kwan ma'am. Sa math, sa tatlo ka subject niya ma'am.
Okay, get the math grade, tama?
Yes ma'am, science ag
Yes po.
English.
Okay, get the math grade, M na lang ha. MG. And then, pangalawa, get the
English, science.
science grade. And then, pangatlo, get the English grade. Ang pangit ng ano ko. And then, pang-apat, anong pang-apat? Nakuha na
I-add niya
natin
tatlo.
yung... Okay,
Yung
so this
average,
time,
ma'am.
we will do the computation.
Yes ma'am.
Okay, apply natin. Pareho nung ginawa natin dito na part, di ba? We will find the average. Tama? So, find the average. Ayoko na isulat. Okay? Find the average of the, tawag nito, of the students. Okay? So, ang magiging kanyang formula could be average grade equals to math grade plus science grade plus English grade divided by what?
3, ma'am.
Okay,
Three.
we will
3,
divide
ma'am.
it by 3 since we have 3 subjects. Okay, so yun yung pang-apat na step natin. Now, ano yung pang-5 na step natin? Eto, nag-compute tayo ng average, di ba? CA na lang, compute average. Ano yung pang-5 na step?
Ang if og else statement ma'am. If magkuan ma'am, if ma 75 pataas iyang kuan ma'am, iyang grade, makapasar siya. Kung else, kung dili ma'am, ma-fail siya ma'am.
Okay, very good. Okay, very good. So, yun, tama. We will be using the if statement, diba? The conditional statement if. Para malaman natin kung pass ba or failed ang ating estudyante. Okay, then after natin malaman or after natin basahin yung or gumamit tayo ng conditional statement, ano yung pang-6? So dito sa panglima, 'di ba? Meron na tayong conditional statement, 'di ba? So ano yung pang-anim? Dito nalaman na natin sa number 5. Okay, magpi-print na tayo. Okay, so we have actually in the second slide, yun, get grade in math, get grade in science, get grade in English. Then we will apply the formula, which is the math plus science plus English grade divided by 3. Then after that, we will evaluate the average grade of the student. Okay, dito kulang nga siya ng ng display. Kung ano yung, okay, dito na pala, hindi na kasi magkasya. Okay, so nag-display na siya. Okay, nagkaroon tayo ng conditional statement and then meron na tayong display. Okay, so nakuha ba natin to? Dali lang, di ba, ang ating algorithm? Okay, so next tayo? Next problem, meron dito. Okay, so from that one, ano ang unang gagawin natin? Sasabihin na lang para mabilis. Who wants to try? Yung step by step natin, kung paano siya isolve. Anyone? Just raise your hand if you want to try. All you have to do is to design an algorithm that converts Celsius to Fahrenheit. Use the formula for getting the Fahrenheit or converting into Fahrenheit. Anong unang gawin? Mas madali yan actually. Who wants to try? An algorithm for that problem? Mas madali ito compared sa mas maliit lang yung algorithm, konti lang yung steps. Remember, we have only one variable there. So meaning one getting of value lang. Kasi all of that is a constant value na. You cannot change the number or the value there. Sino gusto mag-try? Hello? Sasabihin lang actually. I-share lang. Yes, sino yon? Arvin?
Times before add.
Times before odd?
Distribution, ma'am.
Distribution. Okay. That is already given. The formula is already given. All you have to do is to make an algorithm for it para magkaroon ka ng output or pwede mo nang ma-display.
Define.
Yes?
Define ang temperature sa Celsius unit, ma'am, tapos i-apply ang formula o i-print out ang temperature sa Fahrenheit, ma'am.
Okay, that's it.
Marag
Okay, that's it actually. You will get the value of your Celsius and then apply the formula given, and then after that just display whatever the result nung step 2. Tatlong step lang. Ganun lang siya kadali. Nakakita lang kayo ng ganitong formula, parang naano na kayo, you know? So, 3 steps lang meron tayo dito na problem. So, we will get the value, get, di ba, yung keyword natin, get. Get the value of your Celsius. After getting the value of your Celsius, is i-apply mo na yung formula mo. That is number 2 or step 2. After applying the formula, display ka na diretso. That's your algorithm for this problem. Ganun lang siya kadali. Okay? Next problem, meron dito. Yan. Who wants to try? Si Nathaniel yun kanina, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Iba naman. Iba naman. How about the others? Madali lang din to eh. Ang kaibahan lang niya actually is dalawang variable siya. Pangatlo yung kung saan pupunta yung value, diba? Pero, in getting yung value, dalawa lang. Who wants to try? Hello? Iniisip pa ba? There's no harm in trying. Hindi ka mapapaso. Wala? Sige, ano natin? Proceed tayo kasi malapit na ang oras. So, kailangan nating bilisan. Okay? So, we have in here. So, all you have to do is get the, first step natin, get the value of your hourly rate. Then, second step natin, get the number of hours yung na-serve mo na na time sa work mo. Okay? So, yun first, get hourly rate. Second, get number of hours. And then third, apply this formula given. Yun, kasali si hourly rate. And then after, ano sunod?
Print out na, ma'am.
Okay, print out na. So, apat. Okay, so apat lang, di ba? Get the hourly rate, get the number of hours, then apply the formula, then ang panglima, display na yung result. Okay, so ganun lang. Next is, how about this one? Baka gusto nyo mag-try. Design an algorithm that determine if a given number is an odd or even. Ito mas tricky lang yung problem, but then hindi naman siya ganun kaano. Tatlong step, pwede na to. Nagawa na, may sample tayo kahapon about this, diba? How to determine or check if the number given is odd or even. Diba? When we say even numbers, those are numbers that is divisible by 2. While odd number is when you divide it into 2, there will be a remainder. Okay? So in this part, ano yung pwede natin gawin? Anyone? Ba't ang tahimik? At pansin ko, kumukonti na kumukonti. Bakit 10 na lang kayo? Sige, bilisan natin, no? Sino yon?
Ako, ma'am. Ayop, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Sige, Nathaniel. Sige, ikaw. Since walang nagvo-volunteer na
One,
iba.
ma'am. Read mo ko, ma'am, or input the number, ma'am. Pareha na yung if. So, gamitan na siya karing conditional statement, ma'am, na if, n, or, kasi tawagan yung percent, man. Pag gamitan siya if statement na, ma'am, is 2,
Modulo
or
sign
if
yun.
number is modulus, ma'am. If n modulus 2 is equal to 0, then number is even. Or else, number is odd. Tapos, i-display na itong output, ma'am. Walang to, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so in getting a value, pwede na yung get na mismo ang keyword. Kasi pag read is pseudocode yun eh. So algorithm tayo, so we will use the keyword na get. Okay, so in getting a value. So here, tama yun. Get the given number. Tama? So i-get mo yung given number, the first step. And then afterwards, you will apply yung formula na meron ka. 'Di ba? Formula muna. So first step. Second is yung formula kung paano kukunin yung value. Kasi 'di ba ang ano natin, ang magiging ano natin, ang magiging palatandaan natin pag once na even siya, dapat pag i-divide mo yung number sa or using the modulo sign, yung given number modulo sign 2 ang magiging result dapat doon. Kasi si modulo sign is, ang gagawin niya lang is kukunin niya kung may remainder or wala yung ano, yung sinolve mo. So para pa rin siyang division. Tapos ang kukunin niya lang is yung remainder na part. Hindi niya kukunin yung kung ilang beses mo o ano yung magiging output ng division mo. Nagets niyo yun? Nagets niyo ako? Yung modulo sign again, di ba ang division, ang kinukuha niya na value is like for example, 10 divided by 3 or 10 divided by 5. Pag division ang gagamitin natin, ang magiging result nun, ang kukunin na division is 2, of course, kasi 10 divided by 5 is equivalent to 2. Yun yung kukunin ni division. Ang kay modulo sign, ang kukunin niya is yung remainder. I-apply niya sa division, pero hindi niya kukunin yung whole number during the division. Ang kukunin niya lang is yung remainder niya. So in the case of 10 divided by 5, 0 ang remainder, ang magiging result ni modulo doon. Kasi wala namang sobra sa 10 divided by 5. Nagets ba yon?
Opo, ma'am. Opo.
Okay. While, pag once halimbawa 10 divided by 3 or 10 modulo 3, ano ibibigay niya? Ano yung magiging result? 10 modulo 3. What do you think? What will be the result?
1, ma'am. Ay, 1 ma? Tama ba? 1?
Okay, very good. 1. 'Di ba kasi sobra siya ng isa? Kasi pag i-divide mo yung 10 sa 3, 3 ang magiging sagot. Which is, ang maiiwan is 1. So, 10 modulo 3 is equal to 1. Another example, 10 divided by 4. Ay, 10 modulo 4. What will be the result?
2, ma'am.
2. Yun. Okay,
Two
so
po.
remainder ang kukunin niya. Okay, very good. Thank you for that, John and Nathaniel. So 2 ang sagot niya. Ang kukunin niya is remainder. Dito na part, pag modulo ang gagamitin natin, hindi pwedeng gumamit ng calculator. Kasi di ba ang calculator, decimal number, ang kanyang ibibigay. Tama?
Opo,
So,
ma'am. Decimal po.
oo, so mano-mano mo siyang iso-solve talaga para makuha mo yung remainder natin. Okay? So dito na part, so you will be using the formula. So ang formula natin dito will be, halimbawa, given number, so GN, ang pangit talaga ng ano to, modulo 2, kasi we are talking about odd or even number. Now, sa ating step 3, magko-condition tayo. If, formula talaga ang nilagay, no? Sige lang. If F is equal to 0,
Then
Tama?
it is
Then, anong mangyayari?
even, ma'am.
Okay, then it is even. Then even. Otherwise, false.
Add.
Basta otherwise na yan, ha? Okay, otherwise, odd number na siya. Then, number 4, we will display the result. D for display, R for the result. Yun na. We have the algorithm already for this problem. Okay, nakuha ba natin yon? Okay lang? Nasundan naman?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you have a problem or if you have a if you want to if you want to clarify something, please do not hesitate to ask. We still have hanggang 5 tayo, di ba? We have still 2 hours. Hopefully matapos natin 3:30 ang discussion para magki-quiz kayo, then balik kayo for instruction na naman for the activity. Okay, so wala, no? So proceed tayo. Okay, now another way. Okay, another ano natin is we have what we call pseudocode. Okay, when we say pseudocode, it is a method of describing computer algorithms. Okay, using a combination of natural language, of course, and programming language, a combination. Okay, so it is a technique used to enumerate the programming steps. So we have some rules that are frequently followed when writing a pseudocode. So first is we have symbols are using for the common operations like arithmetic operations such as yung plus sign natin, minus sign, multiplication, division. Okay, and then we have also actually yung assignment operator natin, yung equal sign. And then we also have tawag nito, we have the comparison also, yung equal, not equal, ano pa ba? Greater than, lesser than, and then lesser than equal or greater than equal. So those are our comparison naman. And then we have what we call logical. For the operations, we're talking about the operation, different kinds of operations. We have also the logical operators, which is the AND operator and the OR operator. Na-encounter nyo na ba yung yung truth value natin? Or truth table, I mean? Have you
Opo,
tried
ma'am.
that one? Truth table, di ba? So, yan. And that is for the logical, logical operations. Okay? So, if we are talking about truth table, di ba, mayroon tayong tinatawag na true or false, zeros and ones. Actually, we can also, I think, use yung comparison for the truth table. Okay? So, the second rule sa pseudocode natin is yung certain keyword is used such as read. Okay? Doon sa algorithm natin, ang ginagamit natin is get. Dito naman, read ang gagamitan natin. Okay? And then, we have here, indentions. Okay? So, indentions are used to indicate the branches and loop of instruction. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng, kumbaga, structure. Okay? Meaning, pag once na naka-indent siya, sa pinaka natin. Like for example, this one. Yan, that is an indention. So, meaning, etong symbols is belong dito sa sum natin. Okay, so under siya, kumbaga. Okay, kumbaga si sum rules when using pseudocode is a general, then siya yung specific. And it could be meron pa siyang mga kasama. Okay, so ganun siya. But anyway, ang naman natin in terms of programming, even if hindi mo siya i-indent, okay lang naman. Yun lang for lang din, para organize lang din at madali siyang basahin at intindihin. we are using indentions, and that's why in pseudocode we also use indentions. Okay? Next is, yan, this is an example of a pseudocode. Okay? So, pseudocode natin, ito, diba? As you, if you remember yung kanina natin na problem, we use the get here. So, in terms of pseudocode, we will use the read na keyword. Read length, read width, read height, set volume to 0, and then compute volume as length times width times height, then print volume. So, yan siya. So, dito, nag-set volume to 0 siya. This is one way of initialization. Kumbaga, binigyan muna natin o dineclare muna natin si volume at nilagyan natin siya ng value. Okay? So, setting, meaning setting a value to our variable. So, first, naging 0 siya, but then later on, we use the formula kasi, so we compute the volume. So, using this formula. Then, after computation, meron na siyang printing. So, doon sa ating algorithm, ang ginamit natin na keyword is display. Diba? And this one is just the name of the variable, which is this one. Or nanggaling sa dito na dineclare. Okay? So, next is we have another problem in here. So, katulad pa rin kanina. It's just that we will be having a pseudocode instead of an algorithm. Okay, so in your idea, ano yung magiging natin dito? Just state lang your answer. Okay, still getting the average of the students. Hello? Who wants to try?
Ano ma'am, the
Keylor?
problem is same pa rin
Ay,
po
si Richard.
kanina ma'am.
Yes, the same. The same pa rin. So ano yung magiging natin? Solution using the pseudocode. So what is the first step?
Get.
Sige ako. Yes? Sino yun?
Get. Nathaniel Ayop, ma'am.
Okay. Do we still need to use the get?
Get, ma'am.
No ma'am, read na po.
Grades,
Okay,
ma'am.
read. Okay, read na, hindi na siya get, di ba? Kasi pseudocode naman.
Apo.
Okay.
Apo.
So, we have read, math, grade, tapos read. Saan natin kinuha? Balik tayo dito ha. Eto. Eto na yung magiging example natin. So, eto na yung magiging basehan natin. Okay? So, we have read, we have set, we have compute, and we have print na keywords. So, here, so pwede natin read the math grade. Tama ba?
Yes,
Apo
ma'am.
ma'am, apo.
Okay, read the math grade. Ano sunod? Ano
Science,
sunod
ma'am.
ng
Grade,
read science
science.
grade? Okay, read science grade, read English grade. Then after that, ano nang mangyayari? So tatlong step na. Kinuha na natin, nag-read na tayo ng math, science, and English grade. Anong sunod? Yung pang-apat?
Use the formula,
Get,
ma'am. Formula.
Ano yung natin? Ang keywords doon sa next step natin. We have, after reading, we have
Set.
okay, the set. Okay, set average. This time we will set the average variable, and then i-assign natin for the meantime 0. Okay, set average to 0. And then, that is pang-apat na step. Pang-limang step, we will compute. Tama? We will compute using the formula na ginamit natin kanina, which is math grade plus science grade plus English grade divided by 3. That is the computation. Then after the computation, anong gagawin? Doon na papasok yung, kasi may condition tayo, diba? We will evaluate the condition. Okay, so ano naman yung keywords for evaluation? Eto yon. Ito yung mga sinabi natin. Ayan. So, evaluate the condition. Ganyan na siya. And then, after that, we will have or print the pass if it is greater than or equal to 75. Then, print failed otherwise. So, again, ginamit natin is print, hindi na display. So, ayan siya kung paano natin gawin yung condition or yung evaluation of the condition. Okay? So, yun yung pseudocode natin. Okay, so next tayo. Same problem pa din. Who wants to try? Problem? Christian Mike, baka gusto mong mag-try?
Ma'am?
Si Christian Mike Sanico, you want to try? You want to answer?
Try na ko ma'am, pero pass lang sa.
Sige. How about sino ba? Si Yorka.
Hindi pa na ako, ma'am.
Okay. How about Keylord? I think si Arvin gustong sumagot. Hi, Arvin.
Ma'am,
Yes, Arvin.
read Celsius tapos
Read Celsius, tapos
compute. Tapos
compute.
Tapos print Fahrenheit.
Compute ba siya? Di ba that compute is for the algorithm? Tama ba? Read, tapos dapat ang sunod nun magsiset ka ng set ng value ni F. Tama? So first, read ito. Tama yun, Arvin. And then you will set a value of your F. And then this will be 0. Tama?
Opo.
After setting the value, anong gagawin? Balik tayo sa kanina. We have this one. Nag-set tayo ng value, then we have compute na. Okay, so compute the Fahrenheit. Okay, ang computation na niya is of course using this formula. Diba? So compute, after the computation, what will happen, Arvin?
I-print ang ma'am. Fahrenheit.
Okay, you will print the result of this formula na. And that's it. Very good. Thank you for that, Arvin. Okay, next. Sige, sabay na natin sagutan. Una, anong gagawin natin? We will what? The hourly rate. Anong gagawin sa hourly rate?
Read, ma'am, read.
How about the number of hours?
Read Japan, ma'am.
Okay, read pa rin. And the next step, anong gagawin? We will?
Compute.
Okay. Compute na ba diretso? We will set. Diba?
I set. The
Okay,
variables,
we
ma'am.
will set we will set the value of your variable. It could be computes the wage. Remember when you have a variable, wala siyang spaces ha, so pwede mo siyang lagyan ng underscore. Okay? Pag nagsiset ka, pag nasa programming na part na. Okay? So set the value of your variable into 0. After setting it, ano nang sunod?
Compute na, ma'am.
Okay, we will compute the wage na using the formula na ito. Okay, yun yung pang-apat na ba yun? Pang-apat. Compute na tayo. Okay? Ang pang-lima, after ng pang-lima, ano nang gagawin?
Print, ma'am.
Okay, we will print the wage. Okay, so that's it for this problem. Okay, next is ito. Okay, so write a CD code that determine if a given number is odd or even. So ano yung gagawin natin? Read una ang ito. Teka lang, erase natin. Anong unang i-read natin?
Ang given number, ma'am.
Okay, so we will read the given number. And then after reading the given number, what will happen?
Ma'am, but setan siya karing variable, ma'am.
Okay, we will make a variable, a temporary variable, tama? Yung bawa, set A na lang. Set A equals to 0. Tapos after that, formula, computation na tayo, diba?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is first step, second step, third step. So computation using your formula, yung katulad kanina, na halimbawa A is modulo 2. And then ang pang-apat na is yung condition, tama?
Ma'am, if, ma'am.
Ito siya compute, ito siya yung
So,
condition. So yun na yung apply natin yung conditional statement na if, tapos nandun na yun kasali yung printing. Okay? So depende kung ang conditional statement niya is will go to odd or even. So yun yung possible ipiprint niya. Okay, so yun, that is for the pseudocode. Another tools na pwede natin gamitin naman, okay, so we're done with the algorithm, we're done with the pseudocode. Another tools na pwede natin gamitin for solving a problem is what we call flowchart. Okay, so this one. Okay, do you have any idea about this? Flowchart. Have you tried this one, yung flowcharting?
mo siya green guide, good, ma'am. Para sa sunod-sunod na steps na, ma'am.
Oo. And each of the symbols is merong purpose, kumbaga. Okay, so yun. So a flowchart, wait lang ha, medyo na mamalat na ako. Okay, so when we say flowchart, actually, this is a visual representation of an algorithm. Okay? So, hindi na siya textual. Ano na siya? Graphical, kumbaga. We have text, but then more on, mas mapofocus ka doon sa mga symbols or shapes. Okay? So, it contains symbols, shapes, describing how an algorithm or program operates. So, as you can see here. Diba? And then, each command or instruction is placed in an appropriate shape. So we will be using the following shape. Okay? So, and arrows are used to direct program flow. So, hindi po tayo pwedeng magkaroon ng two-way, only one way. Para kumbaga magiging step by step talaga siya. Okay? So, teka lang. Bakit siya dumiretso? Okay, erase muna natin yung part. Okay? Again, These flow lines cannot be two-way. Okay? So, dapat isang ano lang siya para malaman natin kung from what state to another state siya pupunta. Okay? So, again, when for the arrow line, it will guide us kung saan tayo o saan siya papunta. Okay? So, and then we have here, when we say flowcharts, it explains actually a process clearly through symbols and text with proper design and construction. Okay, always remember that one. So with proper design and construction, of flowchart communicates the steps in a process or a program very effectively and efficiently. Okay, so especially in my part mas okay sa akin na merong symbols or merong shapes compared to textual lang kasi boring siya, and then tayo pa naman pag medyo tamad tayo magbasa. So mas okay sa atin yung graphical. So we have flow lines. It is used to indicate the direction of the process flow by connecting other shapes. Then we have this arrow should not cross each other. So wala dapat yung parang kumbaga nagkakaroon ng para pag once nag-cross kasi siya, hindi mo na siya alam kung saan siya papunta. Okay, yan yung ruling ng natin. Like for example, we have like this, and then we have this one, nag-cross siya. Okay? In this way kasi, pwedeng pag ganun siya. So, malilito ka na. So, kaya siya binabawal na magkaroon ng crossing or galing dito pag ganyan siya. Remember, merong arrow na curvy. Diba? So, big no-no na magko-cross tayo ng lines. So, that's it. Any question about the flow lines? Wala naman, no? Now, proceed tayo with the terminal block. Okay? So, for our terminal block, actually, this is used to represent the beginning or end of a program. So, sa isang flowchart, dapat may dalawa kang terminal block. One for the start and one for the end. Okay? So, magsa-start ang algorithm using terminal block and mag-e-end siya using the terminal block din. Okay? So, later on, may example naman tayo. Now, we have the other one, which is process. Okay? So, process block naman, it is used to represent a process step or activity such as computation, initialization. So, the usual formula, like for example, F equals to A plus, ganyan. This is a process block. Okay, kasi meron kang ginagawa, may pinoprocess ka. Okay, so yun. And then, we have what we call data. Okay, so this data represents the date, the data they use as input. Okay, so pag nag-i-input ka ng data, ito yung gagamitin mo. Okay, it could be assigning a value, diba? Yung parang you're getting a value from a user. Yung hindi siya directly nag-a-assign ng value. Okay, merong ganun, diba? Na parang you will ask, like for example, for your password and for your user account, diba? Humihingi ng value yung program. So, in flowchart, ito yung gagamitin mo pag humihingi ka ng value. Okay? And then we have another one, which is decision block. For decision block, dito nangyayari yung conditional statement, yung if natin kanina. Okay? So, it indicates a decision operation in the process, and the possible parang solution or result of this decision block is only the true or false. Okay? So magkakaroon ka ng condition and then it will be answered by yes or no, true or false, or 0 and 1s. 0 for false, 1 for true. Ganun yung mangyayari. So dito nangyayari yung kumbaga validation of the decision or the condition. Okay? And then we will be using the connector. Okay? This connector actually is just used if yung napakahaba na talaga ng flow charting mo at hindi na siya magkasya sa isang page. So magkakaroon tayo, we will use the connector. Okay? But this is very rare na ginagamit unless napakalaking program ang ginamit mo. So, but then this is very helpful pag malakihan na yung ginagamit mo na program. Okay? So, and then the usual, paano siya paano yung connection mangyayari? Like for example, sa isang page meron siyang ganyan, meaning yan, ile-label mo siya na this is A. Sa next page naman, lagyan mo din siya ng A para malaman na ito yung kanyang kumbaga continuation. Ito yung kapartner niya. Okay? So always pag meron kang ganito, may isa kang connector, dapat may ka-pair siya. Okay? So hindi siya pwedeng naglagay ka ng connector pero iisa lang yung circle mo. Kaya ka may connector kasi meron siyang ka-partner. Diba? Okay, and then for the predefined process, ginagamit naman ito pag once na may isa kang flowchart na existing at gagamitin mo ulit yung predefined process mo doon sa isa pang flowchart mo. Okay? Hindi sila, we will not use the connector kasi hindi naman parang continuation siya ng flowchart. Kung baga, meron ka na talagang isang existing flowchart at that existing flowchart can be used sa isa pang flowchart. So, ganun yung predefined process natin. So, if we will, if we will, tawag nito, base it in a real scenario sa programming na part, it could be a function or method na tatawagin lang. Okay, sa isa pang method. Ganun. Okay, remember we can have a nested method or nested functions, a method within a method or a method within a function, a function within a function. So mayroon tayong ganun na tinatawag. Okay? So again, predefined kasi existing na siya. Okay? So we have this one. An example, yung katulad yung kanina pa rin. So as you observe, we have the terminal block here for the start, another terminal block here for the end. Okay, sabi ko nga kanina, always nagsa-start at nag-end ang ating flowchart with a terminal block. Okay, so here, since tatanggap tayo ng value from a user, we use this data block. Okay, so read score 1, score 2, score 3, and then nagpa-process tayo, meaning may formula na nangyari. So, sum equals to score 1. So, kinuha muna si sum. And then later, kung ano yung magiging result ni sum here, gagamitin niya dito. Another process block. And then, yan. Okay? Anyway, actually, you can make this one as 1 lang. Basta alam mo kung saan sino ang nauna. Kasi, naka-sequential naman ang natin, ang pagbasa. Kung sino yung sa taas, yun yung unahin pag-compile. Then, followed by nasa baba. From top to bottom tayo always. Okay, and then next is, after getting the average, yun, ipiprint natin siya, and then, end the flowchart. Okay? Next is another example is this. By the way, any question about this? Any clarification? None so far? Sige, proceed tayo. Okay, next natin about whether yung ating average, I think. No, it's not. Yeah, average. No. Okay. Create a flowchart that determines whether the exam score of a student is passed or failed. If the score is greater than or equal to 50, then the student pass, otherwise failed. So ito naman yung with a condition. So we will get the score. So ito yon, we will read the score value, and then so nakuha na natin yung score value, the score variable now, we will have a condition for it para malaman natin kung pasa ba siya or not. So ang magiging condition natin, if it is greater than or equal to 50, so pass siya. If hindi naman, then failed siya. Okay? Again, this block is also called input-output block kasi you can get a value from it and display an output using the block. Okay? So, ito na ano, yung data na sinasabi natin na block. Okay? So, if after that, if it is passed, then it will end na. As well as like this, sa fail. So, ganun lang yung decision, ano natin, decision block. True or false. Of course, wala nang iba dito ha. Baka magdagdag pa kayo maybe. Wala na po yan. Okay, so dalawa lang yung possible output natin from it. Okay? No, yan siya. Okay, so possible ba na dalawa yung input? I think not. Kasi medyo malilito tayo din. So better to, if you have another input pa, it could be gawa ka na lang ng another na condition para ano, organize yung magiging ano mo, yung flow chart mo. Okay? Next is eto. Ito yung example ng predefined natin. Okay? So, like this example flow chart with a predefined process. So, start, then meron na siya dito, and so tatawagin na lang siya. Yan. So, intro. So, we will start with the predefined process, which is the intro. And then, kung ano yung process na meron dito. Okay? Ano yun na lang yung ating, dun magsa-start yung another flow chart mo. So, ang gagawin niya is, execute niya muna kung ano yung laman ng intro, which is ito. Execute muna, then after niya matapos, bago i-execute niya yung next step ni other flowchart number 2. So, ganun yung mangyayari. Okay, of course, if you can have another steps here. So, process niya kung ano baga. Basta ang name ng predefined mo is intro. So, yun na lang yung tatawagin mo sa flowchart number 2 mo. And then you can have other activities here. So, this is just an example. Okay? So, that is for a flowchart. So, another dito, problem is this one. So, ano yung possible natin na gagawin? Okay, so first, gawa natin. Sabayan nyo ako. This will be the start. Okay, ano sunod natin dito sa start? Pangit ng ano. After ng start, ano ang gagamitin ko na ano? Na symbol. I-ano ko na lang. S na lang. Hello, after ng start, ano ang isusunod ko? We will be using what kind of block? Since we will be asking a value. So, ang gagamitin natin is yung input-output block or yung tinatawag natin na data block. Okay, so this will read the Celsius. After reading the Celsius, mangyayari is we will process yung formula. F equals to C times blah 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 na. After that, so na ano na natin, na-compute na natin. So we will display the result. Okay, so pwedeng ipiprint na natin yung Fahrenheit. And then after printing the Fahrenheit, we will end it with a terminal block na. Okay? So yan. That's it for the flowchart na ito. Okay, next proceed na tayo, no? Kasi medyo baka kukulangin tayo ng oras. Ito naman, so hourly rate and number of hours. So we can have start pa din, terminal block, and then we can use the input-output block. Okay, so we will read the hourly rate and the number of hours. Sorry lang. Okay, so yan. After yan, we will do the computation using the process block. Diba? So we have here, mangyayari is like wage na lang, equals to the hourly rate equals to our rate times and hours. Okay, then after that, after mo na process, so you will display na. Okay. Again ha, this is also called as input-output block. Okay, so display na natin or print the wage. And then after printing that one, i-end na natin siya. Okay, so that is the solution using the flowchart to this problem. Okay, another one is, sensya na, nagmamadali na. But anyway, sige lang. Sana nabasa niyo yung handout natin ha. And then another one, we will create a flowchart that determine if a given number is odd or even number. So same pa rin, start tayo. S lang yan. Sorry ha, that is a terminal block ha. And then we have, so medyo anuhin natin. Basta that is a terminal block. And then we will ask for a given number. So read tayo. G, given number. And then after that, we will have a formula muna. Okay. Formula is yung, ano ba to? Sige, F lang ha. F equals to yung given number modulo, hirap naman ito, modulo 2. Again, this is a process block ha. It is different from the initial, input-output block. So after the formula we have, gagamit na tayo ng conditional, decision block. That is a diamond, kayo naman. Ano yan? So if GV, ganun na lang, if GV, F pala, sorry. Kasi ang kukunin na natin is yung result mismo ni process. Okay, so F is equal yan to 0. Okay, so if F equals to 0, so we will have here, it could be pag true siya, so display ka ng, display ka ng or print ka ng pass. Ay, tama, add pala. Sorry. Display ka ng even. Add, even. Sa even. Okay? Pag 1 siya, so meaning this is false. Anong 1? I mean, pag magiging false to, i-display niya is no. Okay? Ipiprint niya na odd. O na lang ha ilagay ko. And then, eventually, mag-i-end siya. So, yun yung yan. So, done. So, yan na yung ating magiging flowchart sa ating problem na to. Okay, again, this is 0 ha. Meaning, pag ang result ni F dito sa formula na to is 0, meaning even yung ating number. If not, then magiging odd siya. Okay, so that is for the flow charting. And the last one is we have what we called, last topic natin. Okay, programming methodology. Okay, so sa programming methodology natin, when we talked about methodology, it is what we call a system of rules or styles from which procedures may be derived to solve different problems within the scope of particular discipline. Okay, so a methodology is ano tawag ito? A set of practices. Okay, so programming methodologies actually or methodologies used to deal with the analysis, designing, and implementation of programs. And we have two popular approaches to writing a computer programs. And these are the procedural programming and then the object-oriented programming. Okay, for procedural programming natin, in this approach, operations are executed one after another in a sequence. So, ano talaga siya? Parang line by line, top to bottom. Ganun yung mangyayari. Okay? So, hindi ka makakampunta sa line 5 kung hindi ka dumaan sa line 3. Ganun yung kay procedural programming. Okay? So, may sequence ka talaga na susundan. While object-oriented naman is still, may top to bottom pa rin naman siya. A combination of procedural. You will, ano tawag nito? Dadaan ka sa sa line 1, but then it doesn't mean na from step 1 to step 5, kailangan mong dumaan kay 2, 3, and 4. Okay, hindi ganun si object-oriented. There are possibilities that from line 1, magja-jump ka to line 5. Ganun yung kay object-oriented programming. Okay, so again, an object-oriented programming is an approach na that is organized around objects rather than actions and data rather than logic. Ganun yung kay object-oriented. Okay? So, hindi siya katulad, again, kay procedural na, kumbaga, line by line, okay, you will run the program from line 1 up to 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ganun ang kay procedural. Kay object-oriented, kahit saan ka, basta tinatawag ka. Kasi may calling na tinatawag kay object-oriented. Okay, and that is an example. And the example programming language natin na under sa object-oriented is si Java. Okay? Kaya nga may nabanggit ako kanina na we have methods and we have functions. Kagaya na yung predefined process kanina is because we are in the object-oriented. Okay? So we have this one. Okay? So this is our last, actually, slide for the topic. So this is a parang difference between the procedural and the object-oriented programming. Okay, so in procedural programming, yan, the problem is broken down into procedures or functions. So ito. And then each functions perform one task each. And then it is like assembling a code of blocks from beginning to an end. Okay, so in a procedural manner. So beginning to an end, step by step. And then procedural programming also is suitable only for small programs that have a low level of complexity. Okay, so pwede kang may gagamit ng procedural programming kung ang goal mo naman or yung program na ginagawa mo is hindi ganun ka-lengthy. But if lengthy na siya, then make it use an object-oriented programming. Okay? So, I think, wait lang. Okay, sige, hayaan mo sila. Okay? So, yun. Ang example ng procedural programming natin is a program that involves collecting data from the user. Okay, collecting data from a user, then performing calculations on the collected data, and then displaying the results of calculated data. Yun yung ng procedural. While sa object-oriented natin na programming, ito yung magiging solution natin. Okay? The solutions revolve around entities or objects that are part of the problem. Okay, so how the entities behave and how they interact with each other to give desired result. Okay, so again, pag lengthy na kasi yung natin, yung code natin, it's better na, and pag lengthy na siya, it could be yung mga processes na meron doon sa program mo is medyo paulit-ulit na siya. So that's why, put it in a method and then call that one, and that method can be considered an object. Okay? And that object will be called na lang sa depende kung saan mo siya tatawagin. Meaning yan, hindi mo na siya paulit-ulit i-code kasi nandyan na siya, tatawagin mo na lang, depende kung anong pangalan ng object mo. So, ganun si object-oriented. Mas magiging short ang kanyang code kasi naka-ano na siya, naka-define na siya. Para siyang predefined process and then i-call mo lang siya. While sa procedural, kung kailangan mo yung code, paulit-ulitin mo talaga siyang i-code. And the problem with that is that the lengthy your program is, the laggy it will be. Why? Kasi mas magiging mabigat siya. In terms of processing your program, there will be a lot of or we need a lot of time for it to be compiled. Kasi medyo mahaba-haba siya at mabigat siya. Okay, katulad lang din yan ng mga files natin pag mabigat, 'di ba? Pag i-transfer natin sa ibang sa ibang location, medyo matagal pag malakihan siya. So same with sa programming. Pag once medyo mahaba siya, meaning mas mabigat siya and it will consume a memory, 'di ba? A memory space. So in your part, pag gumagawa kayo ng program, the shorter the better. Shorter code the better. Always nyo yung tandaan. Okay? Next is, example ng object-oriented natin is basically the payroll management system. If we talked about payroll management system, marami tayong tinatouch from that. The employee information, yung salary structure niya, rules around which the solution must be built, yung mga like SSS niya, paano ba siya babawasan, yung pag-ibig niya, yung tawag nito, PhilHealth. Kasi nakadepende sa magkano yung sahod mo. So may mga rules tayo na sinusunod. Okay, in terms of the tax, also, nakadepende sa So medyo complicated siya. So object-oriented is good for that scenario. Yung mga malakihan na. Okay, but then kung maliitan lang naman na you can use the procedural. Okay, so that is our methodology. So we have again two different kinds of programming methodology, the procedural and the object-oriented. Okay, so now any questions so far?
That na.
Already 3:55, no? So this time we will have since wala nang tanong, no? We will have your quiz. Ayan siya. I'll give you 30 minutes to do that. Then balik kayo 4:30 para i-discuss ko yung ninyo, yung inyong assignment or activity. Hands-on, kumbaga na part. Okay? So, I will, better siguro if I will, send it sa group, no? I-send ko na lang para ma-click nyo na lang siya.
Apa, ma'am.
So, 4:30 balik kayo dito for the instruction sa inyong activity.
Apa.
Okay. So, yan. Nakita nyo na?
Opo, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Ayan. Balik kayo 4:30 ha. Thank you.
Ma'am, asa ipasa ang ano, ma'am? Ang score.
Hello? Okay na yun. Diretso na yun siya. Makikita ko na yung score nyo.
Okay po, ma'am. Salamat.
Oo.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello? Yes?
Binaw ng lag ko, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Okay, no problem.
Hey, ma'am.
Hello?
Pwede rin mag-retake, ma'am?
Oo. Hindi ba kayo nakaka-retake?
Nakaka-retake po.
Okay. No problem. As long as, again, that is unlimited. So, till such time na maka 80% kayo, walang problema yon. Kahit ilang beses pa. Kasi ganun sa,
Thank you.
ganun sa TESDA actually. You have unlimited, you have the opportunity to take unlimited, quizzes or exams.
Ay, okay. Thank you po, ma'am.
Oo. Welcome.
Si ma'am. Pwede tayo mag-retake, ma'am?
Yes, oo. Kala nyo isang beses lang? No, until such
Oo,
time
ma'am.
na maging
Kala-
80%.
Alam po namin isang
Kontento na may ito.
Hindi. 80% ang passing score natin.
Okay po.
Okay.
Pwede ito.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Makita niyo mo kung napasa na, ma'am.
Oo. Makikita dito. Sige, check ko ha. Tingnan natin. Sa day 3. Teka lang. Hanapin ko muna. Wait lang ha. I-ano ko muna. Again ha, reminder, 80% ang passing score. So, again, you may take it again and again para makapasa. Teka muna ha, i-ano ko muna, open ko muna yung ating ano. So far, okay. So ang na, wow, pinerfect ha. Perfect ni Rivero, ni Lumanta, and then okay na din si John Paul, 26. Ano ba ang 80% ng 30? Tama ba? 24 ba? Tama ba ako?
Opo, ma'am.
Oo.
Hello, ma'am.
24?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Hello. So ang okay na na points, we have Rivero, Lumanta, Batuto, Castro, 24, then we have Castillo, 30, Kirby, 24, okay na. Daryl, 24, Tulam is 30. Okay naman yun si Lumanta, no? 26. Oo, perfect lang ni Lumanta. Ilang beses tinik eh. Si Liorca, 28.
Thank you
And
po.
then, sino pa ba? Okay na si Dulam, Castillo. Yeah, yun. Yun yung okay. Yun na yung okay.
Ma'am, still answering pa ko, ma'am.
Oy, why are you, sino tong nagpasa, si Christian J? Bakit sinend? Wag i-send. Kindly delete, please. Si John, si Christian J, kindly delete the post please sa sa group chat.
Ay, okay po. Thank you. Sige po.
Kindly delete please.
Ma'am, dili ka to passing tong 24, ma'am?
Passing na yun. 80%, diba?
Okay, ma'am. Dili namin mag-retake, ma'am.
Okay, so no problem. Sige, i-ano ko na ha, i-discuss ko na yung ating yung
Ma'am, wait lang, ma'am.
ating yes.
Answer po.
Nag-answer ka na. Sige lang, makinig ka lang. Okay lang, makinig ka lang. So, okay na. So here is our activity 3, hands-on activity for day 3. Activity. First activity actually. Okay, so day 3 hands-on activity, I mean. Okay, so you will write your answers on a clean sheet of paper, so preferably short one paper or yellow paper. And then take a picture of your answer sheet. Make sure that the image is clear for checking. And then attach or upload the image of your answer sheet to this link. Ito, na given. And then, but then if you want to answer a computerized one, then there's no problem. Just convert it into a PDF format. Actually, this is advantage in my part kasi mas talaga siya, clear siyang makita. Okay, but then if hindi mahirap in your part, if mahirap in your part na mag-computerize since availability ng resources, then pwede na sa bond paper or yellow paper. Just make it sure clear ang pagka-take ng picture. Okay? And then, ang problem po natin here, you will draw a flowchart based on the following given problems. Okay, so this is a 100 item. 100 points, I mean. So 2 items only. So you will find the largest of 3 numbers entered by user. You will make a flow chart, and then display the first 10 even numbers. Okay? So again, find the largest of 3 numbers entered by user. And then display the first 10 even numbers. Of course, we will start with 1. Diba? So, 1, ilang yon? Anong, up to what number ba? So, dapat ang ma-display mo is, based sa flowchart mo, ang ma-display mo dapat is yung 2, 4, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18 and 20. Tama ba? 20 kasali ang 22 para 10 even numbers. Based sa flowchart you will not print na iba isa-isa na 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4 sa flowchart. Dapat yung may condition ka. Decision block. You will be using a decision block para malaman mo if even ba yung number na yon or not. Okay, so you will be using, of course, a variable here also. So maglalagay ka or magsiset ka ng variable. Magdi-define ka ng variable. Okay, so that is 100 points. So we have a rubric here. So the design, so the illustrations well presented and organized, that is 15 points. Interface, all elements interact with each other, 15 points. Components, all elements are included and drawn correctly, 10 points. Label, 10 points. Okay, with a total of 50 points. Since we have 2 problem here, so it is equal to 100 points. Clear ba tayo doon? Any question? Hello? Okay
Wala na po,
lang?
ma'am.
Okay, so since wala ng question, thank you so much for your time. Bukas na naman kita tayo, no? So you may now leave the session, and the deadline for this, as much as possible, tomorrow before our meeting. Okay, so mga 12 o'clock. Okay, so thank you so much. Have a good day. Stay safe always.
Thank you po. God bless po.